So from getting out of this scared mentality, from having debt, from being scared to, you know, go do things because I was like, well, if I do this, then it's going to put me into debt. I'm going to have all this risk. And then if I can't pay it off, what then? I am taking you on a journey of revival in my life and the life of others in hope that your life will be revived in the process. Hey, what is going on, guys? So we are back with another podcast episode, and today we will be talking about how to overcome the mental crutch that has stopped you from getting started. And the reason why we are talking about this is because multiple different times I hear people, they're like, I want to, do something of my own. I just don't believe that I am able to do this. I don't believe I have what it takes. I don't believe I have the finances. I am not able to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish because of X, Y, and Z. And so there's a lot of excuses that are, made up in the process, but it all comes back to a mental crutch that is actually holding us back from achieving the things that we are striving for. And for me, the longest time, it held me back in my tracks because my mindset was a specific way. And so until I got out of that, until I broke down or threw away that mental crutch that was there, I wasn't able to progress forward and to create something that I knew I needed in my life. And so with that, guys, this is what we're going to be talking about this podcast episode. But real quick, we're going to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Do you want to create a digital empire but don't know how? Well, here's your chance to start a new skill set that will help you do just that. Ace Local Leads is providing a free blueprint guide on how to start a real digital business you 100% control, land real clients, and earn real recurring revenue. The free guide teaches you how to get paid to solve the biggest problem most small businesses have. Download your free guide now and discover 1. A reliable step-by-step method to find and service high-paying clients that will pay $2,500 to $5,000 every month to get the leads their businesses need from you. 2, the secret strategy we use that most agencies don't even consider, and it ends up being their number one fatal flaw. And 3, which is bonus content. No experience, no problem. We'll send you video tips and a real person will answer your questions. Visit CoachTobias.com. That is CoachTobias.com now to get started. Have you wanted to make a podcast but didn't know how to get started? That was me until I found Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is ANCHOR.FM to get started now. All right, and so we are back. Today is very, very important to anyone who wants to start their own business, that wants to create their own YouTube channel, that wants to create their own podcast. Because when we are stuck in a place where we have this mental crutch that is keeping us, right? It's keeping us back from, actually pulling the trigger and doing the things that we need to do to jumpstart, our life in a sense. So I'm going to just jump into, like a little story about me because from a young age, I was very, very frugal. To be honest, I was very scared of debt and acquiring debt and, having that hold me back because of the things I was told and the things that I saw was that if you get into too much debt, it could really screw over your life. And so coming, from my point of view, there were a lot of times where it was like, hey, I want to buy something, so I want to save up my money and just hang on to it so that I can get this one thing, instead of going out and trying to get it with credit, instead of trying to, try to get a loan or do anything that is going to eventually acquire interest and eventually screw me over. Like I've seen so many times in other people's lives, you acquire a certain amount of debt once you get to like 20 or 10, 15, $20,000. If you're making that minimum payment, I saw that you would probably never pay it off because you're only paying for interest and you're acquiring more interest than what you're actually paying if you're paying the minimum payment. And so a lot of times, this would end up screwing people over and they wouldn't be able to pay all their bills. They wouldn't be able to, overcome that financial struggle because of this big old crutch in their life, this big old, financial block that was literally boulder, I would say, that was sitting in the way. And so for me, the longest time, I just didn't want to get in that situation where I would have to acquire that stuff. This was for, when I was younger, purchasing things of my own. This was when I got older, when I was trying to, purchase a car. And instead of going for a brand new car, I got a used car with a super high interest rate. Why? Because, at the end of the day, I thought I was saving money by buying a older car and going to college, right? I always wanted to go to college. I always wanted to go for like, originally it was for music. I wanted to go to play jazz on my trumpet and to do that stuff. But whenever I would take a look back and look at these things, I'm like, I'm going to get into thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, at least $20,000 to $100,000 in debt to go to college. Why? Because I didn't have a college fund set up. And, it was either one, get a full ride scholarship somewhere, or two, I would literally have to, get some student loans. And I know a lot of people do this, but for me, it was like, I just don't want to go down that traditional route, because if I get all this debt, if I get all this crap piled up and built up, right, then I may not ever be able to get out of it. And if I'm going into a trade or a profession that is not guaranteeing me, I don't know, $100,000 a year, or, anything that is significant enough to be able to pay off these debts, then it would almost be pointless for me to go to college. And so that's how I looked at it. And I did go to college. I went to a Bible college, but I paid out of pocket for a majority of that. I worked, I paid out of pocket. Everything that I, went to was paid for. And so it wasn't necessarily affecting me in a poor way, because in my eyes, the debt was the worst thing that could ever happen. If I get in debt, I will never get out. And boom, now there's this big old financial chain holding me back and keeping me doing whatever jobs I have to take. I'm going to jump through hoops. I'm going to literally do whatever it takes to pay these bills, whether I enjoy it or not. So from a young age, I realized that, I do want to do things, but if it's not going to benefit me financially, then I would have to suck it up and just do whatever I had to do until I got to a point where I could accomplish these things. Whether it's now or whether it's later, the end goal is the end goal, but I have to look at what is going to set me up for success. So I think the biggest thing that I didn't understand was that you could use credit to, actually benefit you. But I'll get into that a little bit more later. But externally, like, people on the outside looking in, they'd be like, Tobias, you are super cheap. You're super frugal. Like if my parents were like, hey, you need to go pay for this item, I'd be like, I'm good. I don't need candy. I don't need food. I don't need anything. They're like, you got like $300. Why are you holding on to it? Or 100 to $300. Why are you holding on to it? Like you're going to have to spend it eventually. You ain't just going to keep it forever. But in my heart of hearts, I thought I was going to keep it forever. And, this was going to help me out in the long haul. Either purchase something I wanted to purchase or, I would have like a little nest egg set aside. Like I didn't have to pay for my stuff. My parents got me on everything else. So, all the money I got, I just keep. And if someone else would buy it, then, cool. I was good with it. But if I had to buy it, I was like, I just go without. This is just amusing to me looking back at it now. But that's the place I was in because I was so worried about, having to, not have enough money to get the things that I actually wanted to get. And so since I was in that mindset, the only thing I could do was save, be frugal, be cheap, and literally just hang on to it like it was my lifeline. And so it was just really, really weird looking back at it now, but that's just the place I was in. So I knew I wanted to use the money for something, but I wanted it to be worth it. I didn't want to just buy some fast food, buy some candy. Like my brother, he would go out and he would literally, he would get money, and I would say within 5 minutes it was gone, like all of it. Not just he'd have $50, right? He could have went to the store, bought like $10 worth of stuff. He would spend $50 worth of stuff. He was like, "Hey, I got this money. This money ain't gonna be here forever. I might as well spend it on what I want. Buy the newest clothes, buy the newest stuff, whatever, right?" And it's just me. I was like, "Why do you spend your money so quick?" Like we were just in two different places, and it's just kind of funny to me because I wouldn't spend it on nothing. They're like, well, eventually you're going to need to buy some other stuff. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. I knew I wanted something more, and I was willing to sacrifice to be able to get it because of my fear of money. I was scared of debt. Like literally, I was so scared to not be in like debt that I was willing to do whatever was necessary, like to not spend it. I wasn't willing to do what was necessary to live a good life, right? Like go out, spend some money here, spend some money there, and be like, hey, the money's gonna come back around. I can make more money. I can get this. No, I was just like, nope, I'm gonna keep it. And so that held me back from a lot of things. It kept me from, actually being able to enjoy the certain things in the time. Like if you make a budget and you don't budget out some money to spend, then you're insane, right? It's going to happen. You're going to be frustrated, or you're just going to be shut in and you're going to be isolated from everyone else, because you have to realize that you need to give yourself some type of room to go out there, have some fun, to enjoy yourself. Because if not, you're just going to be grinding and grinding and grinding, and you're going to hate it. You're not going to like it at all. And you're going to be frustrated because you don't have the things you want. And then you're going to be frustrated because if you spend the money, then you're not going to, get to those goals that you're striving for. But there has to be like a little middle area. And so I realized that the life I wanted to live, the life I wanted to do, I knew that I would eventually have to invest into myself. I would have to invest in something else because I wanted more, right? I didn't want to be the kid who would go to the Dollar Tree, buy all my stuff, go to, the thrift store, get the cheapest stuff. Even though you may find some steal of deals there, I wanted to have nice things, but I wanted to have enough inflow coming in so that I could ultimately not have to worry about holding on to the money so tightly. If I had an asset, if I had something growing, I could literally live the life that I wanted without being super frugal. And yes, would I still be intentional on how I spent my money? Yes, but I understood that there had to be, a way for me to create something else. And I think the hard part for me actually creating something else is that I knew I was going to have to put down a good chunk of change. I knew that if I did not invest into myself and create something online, literally I would regret it later on because I didn't take those actions. And I want a better than average life, and in order to get it, I would have to take risks that most people wouldn't take. To have a life that most people don't have, you have to do things that most people won't do. I know it's so cliche, but it is so true. If you're just doing what everyone else does, then you should probably look at their life and be like, okay, that's what my life's going to be 20 years from now. And unless I'm willing to do more than that, unless I'm willing to grab some money, put that money down into something that may or may not work, there's going to be a risk factor, at least a little bit. There's risk in anything. If you go on a date and you try to get the girl of your dreams, you're probably going to get rejected a handful of times before you're able to, to either get the girl of your dreams or until you're able to go on a date, right? I know we've all probably been on dates. And so we all know this. When you're going up, there's it's either I'm going to try to, get this girl or not. And there's either one or two things that are going to happen. I'm either going to get a yes or I'm going to get a no. In business, it's kind of the same way. You're going to go into it and it's either going to work or it's not going to work. So going into my biggest problem when I was finally ready, I was just like, bro, I'm ready to kick out the money. I'm ready to kick out the cash. I'm ready to invest into a business that is going to make me money, right? I'm super pumped. I'm excited. I realize that the only way I'm not going to regret this later on in life is if I take action now. And why wait? Why am I going to wait forever when the more years I wait, the more, the more it's going to be harder on me to actually create this. If I have more responsibilities, kids, a wife, and all these other things, is going to make things a lot harder. So I understood that, and I purchased a course and immediately expected to make money back. I thought bro, I'm going to purchase this course. I'm going to consume the information. I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to make money. I did not understand literally at all that I wouldn't get paid until I was good enough to get paid. When we go to a job and we work, it's literally, boom, you show up, you're getting training. You don't even know how to do your job. And they're like, here's your paycheck. We'll pay you through your training. And so you're just like, yeah, I deserve this. I deserve this. I deserve this. Yeah, I don't even do any work except for learn how to do my job and I get paid for it. That's how it's supposed to be. And so I was in this mindset because of, going, working, doing things that are not entrepreneurial. I was expecting to get a paycheck when I put out my first thing. I didn't realize there was a skill factor that was involved. If I put up a crappy video or a crappy ad, they're not going to, it's not going to get a lot of return on it. I'm not going to get the results I was looking for. I was going to get the result I deserved. And so that's the cool thing about business is literally you will put in the time, you'll put in the effort, you'll put in the hard work. And until you're good enough, you're not getting the results. But I think the coolest part about it is that anyone can come in and get good enough at a skill set or bring in already skill set that they already have, get good at either marketing it or creating a course or making money on it somehow, some way, right? And they can, if they're good enough, they can make a significant amount of money, and it could be more than their full-time income. So I think that's amazing because you could be a drug addict. You could be someone who, grew up in a very wealthy home. You could be someone who had a subpar average life, and we all have our own struggles, but the level of struggle is different for all of us. Now, going into business, there's literally no nothing that is keeping you from being able to accomplish stuff. You could have the worst life, you could have the best life. Until you are good enough, until you have like the skill set to be able to do these things effectively, you won't get the results. And so I like that because it's like anyone can do it. It's possible for anyone. You just have to get good enough. And so I realized that, but like as much as I wanted to blame other people for my problems, I understood that if they are getting results, it's not them that is the problem. It's me that's the problem. And I realized, I guess I wasn't doing good enough. I guess I had to allow myself time to grow. And that was very, very hard because like I said, we're getting money in. People are paying us to learn how to do our job. Like how ridiculous is that? You know, we haven't even done nothing to bring profit to the business and yet we're still getting paid. Because we're an employee. And so in that employee mindset, you're expecting to transition into business and get the same thing. Okay, I just started my LLC. Okay, I put up my first post. When am I going to start making money? You're like, where's my money at? Like I'm waiting. Where is it? Why haven't I got paid yet? Buddy, let's just slow down. We haven't made enough money yet to get paid. We're not good enough. Our skill set is not there. We don't know how to copyright, which is, you know, creating ad copy. It's creating the words, a hook, story, offer, all that stuff, right? On your ads, on any content that you create or post. You're just not good enough at that. So you get better at that. You improve. Oh, well, people aren't engaging with my videos. Well, you suck at making videos. You aren't looking into the camera. You aren't, your audio equipment is horrible, or your editing skills are horrible. So it looks like you're in a old school Chinese movie where the lips are moving, but the sound isn't coming out at the same time. So like there are levels to these things, and we have to allow ourselves time to be able to get good enough to, to actually make something worthwhile. And I think that is the hardest part. We go in, we're like, bro, where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? It's like, you're not at that level yet. And it was very, very humbling for me, because even with all the things that we do now, like we're still at the beginning stages of our entrepreneurial world. This year, I expect us to open up 2 more LLCs, which is 2 more businesses. And one, we have to because we're renting out our property. That's kind of, to save our butts. But the other one will be to be able to conduct our own lead generation for businesses for ourselves. And so instead of, just being an affiliate for it and making a percentage, we would be able to make the full amount for the clients that we bring in. And so that will not only affect their businesses, but it will allow me to have, person to person relationship instead of just being the middleman from the business that needs the help to the service provider who's going to help them get leads. It's always harder when I can't personally interact with my clients. And so they're not really my clients if I'm just an affiliate for the company that's bringing them in and I'm only making 30%. So, at the end of the day, I had to allow time for myself to grow to be able to see results. And as I did that, and I did it consecutively. So the other issue that came up was that I thought I was going to consume a book, not take action, and actually have better results. But I think the best thing that anyone can do right now is to take action. Well, read your books, read your courses, look at your YouTube videos, get all the knowledge you can in the area, that you're trying to do, whether that's creating an online course, whether that's affiliate marketing, whether that's direct sales, whether that is, being able to create awesome YouTube videos, whatever it is, or podcasts, whatever it is, consume this stuff, but never think that you are going to grow or get better or have all awesome results until you actually start doing them. I think the best way to learn is to fail, is to suck, is to make those videos and be like, wow, I really, really was horrible at this. If you go on my Facebook page, look at that, and you look at the first video that I made, that one was probably decent because I shot it like 15 times and I probably, never actually put it out. But if you look at, I would say, what was it? Like the winter time of 2018 going into 2019 or 2019, January 1st time frame. That's when I started making videos every day. And if you look back at one of those beginning videos, you'll be like, wow, this is not that great. But if you look from that first video up until the last video, you'll see that there was significant improvement. But the only reason why there was significant improvement is because I took action. I took a course. The course was like, the best way to get better at this is to do something, whether it's create a podcast episode, whether it's create a YouTube video, whether it's create a Facebook video, but you need to do it every single day. If you do it every single day, then you will improve. It does not matter how good you are now. Do it every day, and a year from now, you will thank me because you will improve. And so I took that to heart and I was like, you're 100% right. I just need to do it. No excuses, no BS, no, oh, well, I can't because of this. I need to understand that I am the problem. And since now I know that I am the problem, how can I fix myself? What can I do to fix the issues or the current issues that are happening right now? And so that was one of the huge questions I had to ask myself all the time. Why isn't this video getting as much engagement? Oh, well, the title sucks. Oh, well, I'm not looking at the camera. Oh, well, I'm not engaging enough with the people that I'm trying to talk to. Who is my target audience? I don't know. Well, it's kind of hard to make any specific targeted videos if I don't even know who I'm speaking to. And so there's just multiple different issues and problems that I had to overcome to get better, to be, more successful at creating content, creating ads, creating anything to be, just more efficient at it. And then once I got better, I would say like 3 to 6 months. So if you are not where you want to be at yet, give yourself 3 to 6 months of doing the same thing over and over again and look back. This could be working out. This could be eating healthy. This could be creating videos on Facebook every single day. And what was the point of creating the videos on Facebook? It was to provide value and to improve making videos, because I was like, to be honest, no one's really going to watch my videos. They're going to go out. I'm going to get maybe one person, 2 people, 3, 5, whatever, right? They're not going to watch it, but the people that are watching it are going to let me know whether it's good or not by their engagement. And if it's not good, then I'm not going to get comments. And so you adjust what you are doing. You don't cater to people. Keep your vision, keep what you're doing, keep the things that you, want to accomplish through your business, but you need to know what's working and what's not working, and you need to adjust. Oh, well, this headline was really, really good. It hooked them in. Okay, I'm going to keep trying to make hooking and compelling headlines to keep them engaged. Oh, this video was crap because I was tired and I was monotone and I was barely looking at the no, there has to be like an increase in the way that you're speaking, like, oh, I'm excited and I really want to tell you guys about this, right? If I say it like that, you're going to be like, oh, tell me more, right? But if I say it, today was just such a rough day. I had such a hard time. Like, if I say it like that, who cares? You're going to be like, man, this is freaking boring. Like, I give a F less about what he's going to say, and you're going to click off, right? So it's not only about doing the thing every day. It's about doing the thing and looking at it and being like, okay, like, I'm not saying watch your whole video every time after you post it, but kinda. Look at it. See, hey, what could I improve on? What could I do better? Was my eye contact enough on the video? Did I say, Yes, this is, did you have pet words? What were you saying over and over and over and over again? Look at those things, right? And understand that you're not an employee anymore. The employee mindset has to shift, and you have to understand that until I am a subject matter expert in whatever it is I'm talking about, I will not get the results I'm looking for. And then you have to understand that I will never be good enough. My dedication to personal growth, personal development, and, constantly seeking out more knowledge and working with more people to understand greater things, you will be like, okay, I'm never going to know enough, but how can I improve? How can I get better? How can I solve these problems faster so that next time I run into it, I can, execute every single time because I know what was going wrong. So from getting out of this scared mentality, from having debt, from being scared to, go do things because I was like, well, if I do this, then it's going to put me into debt. I'm going to have all this risk. And then if I can't pay it off, what then, right? Like I got over that, and I was able to create the first business. At first it was called Coach Tobias. And then I've also created another group on Facebook called Coach Tobias. Now I have not used it. I'm waiting, to personally take on some people and actually coach them in maybe like a private group setting. That's still in the works, but I've been able to create the Revival Couple. That's where this page actually, the Facebook page transitioned to, and then it created the podcast, and then it created the YouTube video and everything else after that. So we created those things. We were able to get in a good amount of sales, but the biggest part that we changed was that I need to take full responsibility. And once I was willing to take full responsibility of what was happening, and that I was the problem, that I was the thing that was lacking, no one else was, that is when we opened up an Amazon store. And, we're getting passive income from that. That is when we bought a house, and now we're going to be renting it out and get passive income from that. Of course, we're paying people, property managers, take care of stuff, but we're able to grow multiple different businesses that are eventually going to pay us enough where we don't have to work a full-time job, but then we can actually transition into things that we want to do. Me, produce music, my wife, create a nonprofit organization to help out a bunch of youth kids that are going through hard times. And, it's going to allow our kids to have us be present, to be active parents, to be able to be a part in their life and actually help them through, different times where most people don't have that. Like I saw my dad so many times, and then my dad would go on trips out of town, and then I would be home. I would have to, rely on my mom or myself or, whatever, to be able to accomplish things. And it's nice to be able to have your parent actively there, helping you. And so that's what I'm striving for, providing for my kids. Will I be there all the time, every day? No, but I will do my best to be active, and whenever they have things, to adjust schedules around, to be able to be a part and to be present and to be a huge part in their life. So with that, we were able to accomplish so much. We were able to literally create businesses. We're still on the front end. Have we made $100,000 yet? No. That's our goal for this year, 2020, $100,000 online. And then eventually our bigger goal is to make $1 million. But you can't make $1 million if you haven't made 100,000. You can't make 200,000 until you made 100,000. You can't make 100,000 until you made 50,000. Like all those goals are just there to keep us progressing forward and to keep us, on track to, achieve the things. They're just monetary numbers. The thing that does not really matter that much is the money. The thing that matters is our happiness. Until we are living, the life that we feel called to live, till we are living the life that we know we are supposed to be doing, that is what's going to bring the overall success, overall rewards, is because we are happy and excited about living instead of being tied down to this thing that we feel like we have to do because we have this mental crutch that's in the way telling us, well, if we make that leap and it doesn't work out, then what? Then you adjust. You learn from those mistakes. I've done multiple businesses before the business that I got started with now started paying anything. Did I have takeaways from those other businesses? Yes. I realized what businesses I did not want to be a part of. I realized that, hey, if this is, I need 1,000 clients to be able to bring in money, then that's ridiculous. Why not have 2 to 5? If I could have 2 to 5 that pay more than 1,000 clients in another company, then that's probably the business I want to go after. High value items for, like high ticket sales for individuals that are needing this product. That sounds a lot better to me. But anyways, it allowed us to grow and achieve so much. And literally it's given us hope back in our life, which is the coolest part. And instead of being scared of debt, like now, from starting off as a kid and going into the early ages of my adult life, I was honestly scared of debt. But instead of being scared of debt, like right now, I am honestly excited about investing into myself and being able to personally grow. Like literally, I will just buy books. I'll see books. I'll be like, I need that book. I won't be like, oh my gosh, this is 30, 50, $100 for all these books. I'll be like, I need to buy it. Why? Because this is more important than the money I have. If I can grow and if I can become better at this, I can help out more people. I can, change more people's lives. Because I want to let you know, when I first got into business, it was like me. How can I make money? How can I, not have to deal with this crap? But now it's like, how can I help out other people get to the place where they're like excited and happy about life? Because I understand that, when you go to a job, sometimes you'll have this uneasy feeling. You'll feel like you're sick to your stomach, like you are in a place that is absolutely imprisoning you to, your cubicle area, to the place where, you're just there, you're tied down to your job. You're spending 75% of your time at your job and 25% of your time at your work. It's like 75% at your job and 25% at your home. It feels like your first home is actually your workspace because you're spending more time there. And then the place that you're working so hard to, have your house, you're spending 25% of your time there. It's like your second home is your actual home and your real home is your job where you're trapped. You have to be there to be able to pay all these things that are holding you back. And so with that, I realize that is hard. It's hard to deal with. It's hard to, be in that place. It's very frustrating. There's depression, there's anxiety, there's, a lot of things that are hurting families and hurting people. And so if I could get out of that and actually feel excited, feel happy, get to a place where I don't feel like I have to drink all the time, which, before I would travel so much and it was just so exhausting. I felt like I had to drink to be able to deal with the circumstances, the situations that I was in. That was my release. That was my escape. But now it is literally, I'm excited about life. I honestly do not need to drink. I feel like I drink if I want to, but it's not like I am so frustrated with my life and where I'm at that I have to do these things. And so it's brought up this, release of joy outwardly and this hope outwardly that really has me at the most excited point in my life that I've ever been in. And so that's the transformation I saw. I want other people to see that same transformation. I want to see other people have that spark light up in their life so that they can get excited, so they can accomplish more, so they can do more, not only in their lives, but their families' lives and their friends' lives, and set off that little spark that is going to get people going, and so since I saw the change in my life, I honestly think moving that mental crutch out is the one thing that can allow more people to getting started now, to actually stop worrying and stop looking at what ifs and look at what can happen, so that in 10, 20 years, when you're looking back and you're being like, man, I could have created something, but I was too scared to do it. And now I regret it. Instead of regretting it, you can at least say that I took the steps necessary to, be able to provide the life possible, or the things that I want in my life to give me a happy and joyful life that I'm striving for. Because a lot of people do not do what they want to do until they retire. That is so sad. We should not have to do that, especially now in this digital age, in this time and place where you can create something for yourself online. Of course, it's not by yourself. Literally, there's like in any business, you have so many people. You're interconnected in so many ways, but you can create a business online that is going to allow you to do the things that you want to do. You can make it based about what you want to do. So with that being said, guys, that's going to conclude this podcast episode. If you took something away from it, and you like this podcast episode, definitely drop a like down below. If you think someone else will find value from it, share it, because it makes me smile like I am right now. As always, guys, let's go out there. Let's revive our lives together. Let's get it done. And until the next podcast episode, have a good one.